Hi everyone, Clear's Glory Young here. It's been a long time since I've posted my last video and it has been deliberate. So after our event on February 10th, which we debuted our trauma theatrical production, I went into what is called an observation mode. I began to observe several things that was actually going on, particularly around the context of what is called health disparities. So, January of this year, I had a close friend that passed away. And at her funeral, I was talking about the health disparities that are in what is called the black and brown community. And knowing that our event was coming up in February, I really started to pay attention to these health disparities that we're faced with. So, the context of the health disparities, I was able to now tie it into what is called the traumatic experience that we've been going through. So, there's a part of trauma that we were never exposed to. I know the context of the different types of traumas that are being taught out there in the community, right? So even if you go online and you look at these different definitions from the top leading trauma experts out there, you will see that each expert have their own definition of what trauma is, right? All right. Beyond the definition, there is the process. And the process, whether you're the expert over here or the expert over here, you need to understand the process. And this process is called accumulation. Just like wealth, people accumulate wealth in a number of years, right? It's the same thing. When you have what is called that traumatic experience, you actually accumulated what is called adversity for a period of years or months or years before you even go into what is called the traumatic experience, right? So I wanted to share that with you so I could give you the background of far as why am I making this video. 2 days ago, I placed a video on social media and I was talking about my sacred passenger that I drive around with, right? And that sacred passenger is one of these. So this one is black. The one that's in the video is a red one. That one is actually coming from our event that we actually did in August 2023. So I just did the video 2 days ago and something just compelled me to actually do that video, but that was in my car since last year. So look at this now. That one that's in the car, I actually purchased it to be a part of the prop that I was going to actually present on when we did our trauma conference in August. Something compelled me to take the prop from the event and place it into the car, and I've been driving around with it ever since. It's a reminder for me. I'll get to that shortly. What happened today was that I made a call to someone. Why did I call the person? Because on March 17th, which was a couple days ago, I sent the person a text saying, hey, are you out of the hospital? And I hope that you're in what is called a speedy recovery, right? I didn't hear back from the person and it kept on slipping my mind. Hey, why haven't you heard back from this person in such a long time? March 17th, we're up to now March 25th, right? So when I started to think about it, I was like, wow, I haven't heard back from the person yet. Let me reach out to the person. Call the person today, and guess what? The person has been in the hospital from that time. The person came out of the hospital. I text the person, hey, how are you doing? Hope you're having a speedy recovery. Now I didn't hear back from the person and it just kept on slipping my mind for me to reach out from a phone call. Today I did the phone call only to hear that the person is still in the hospital, went back into the hospital and having more complications than the person was having before. Look at this part now. The person was there at our event on February 10th. the person watched the debut of our play. Based on what the person shared with me today, I was able to say, hey, let's have a conversation around the play that you saw. You remember when the actress said such and such and such, and I started to walk through the lines of what the person said? The person was like, yeah. I said, that's exactly what you just experienced based on everything that you just shared with me. And all of that was written in the play. It is something that I was aware of. I didn't know that this person was going to experience it to the point where I said to the person, and this is called the placebo effect. The placebo effect is giving someone a medication and saying, hey, this is going to work. And the person begin to what? Think that it's going to work, and it works, which is not the medication, is how you program the person to think that way, and it actually happens, right? So a place in the person's mind say, hey, when you come back out of the hospital, that's going to be your story, that if we're doing this event here, you can say to yourself, now maybe that is what someone is going through. You actually experience it. Now you can tell your story of what you're seeing here in this production. So in the background, I was telling the person, hey, you're going to be well enough to come out and use this as your story to now share this experience. Again, look at this context. It is called a traumatic experience that the person was going through, and it landed the person back into the hospital. Everything that transpired that the person was able to share with me, I fully understood it. Why? Because it's written in the play. So in that context, for me, is understanding these things, which is called the accumulation process. The accumulation process is how things accumulate from here to here to here, and then it starts to now impact you in your entire life. So the reason why, now let's get back to this, the reason why I have two of these, one in the car and one in my room, it's a reminder. A reminder for me to what? Keep my heart clean, keep my heart pure, and keep my heart what? Light. If I've never learned anything from the airport in all these years that I've been studying it, I've learned the context of how to be light. Why? Because each airplane that takes off, it has to be light. It goes through what is called a weight and balance process. If that plane is too heavy, when it goes up, then what happens? Everything is going to come down. And in my book, The Airport Adventure, I talked about that with the story of Aaliyah, how she was killed on the plane, right? But beyond that, I've learned how to keep the heart clean, pure, and light. Three intricate things that you need to understand with your own life. So look at this real quick. This right here goes where? In the air, and this part goes what? On your heart. And you begin to test your heart now and see what's really going on with your heart, right? Look at this now. I really want you to understand this. The things that goes through your ear goes directly to your heart. So if you get up on a day-to-day basis and you're hearing you're no good, you're worthless, you have no value, I have this, that, all these negative things that you're hearing, they're deposited in your heart. And it is not ironic, or it is not an accident that the word heart is spelled H-E-A-R-T. What's in the middle of the word heart? Ear. Your ear. The sound that you hear, they goes directly to your heart. Heart conditions, right, which are issues that are of the conditions of the heart, are the number one killer of people around the world. So I have two of these to remind me on a day-to-day basis. I'm not walking around here with a heavy heart. I'm not walking around here now being bent out of shape by these things that are happening. So I have a reminder in my car when I travel, and I have a reminder when I'm at home. Keep your heart clean, pure, and light. And you know what light really represents? It's called AIR, air. I learned that from the airport adventure. Airport adventure. So, I'm going to take the time out for you to understand it's imperative for us to really what? Keep our heart clean, pure, and light. So you don't have health complications or what is called health disparities, right? I've been seeing too much of it happening in our community, and it is going in the process of what is called accumulation. So at the end of the day, it is happening here, but you can't understand it because it accumulated from here. So you now address the issues that are dealing with right here and leaving the things that are in the bottom of your heart and not being fully rectified. In the meantime, keep your heart pure, keep it clean, and make sure that it is light. God bless.